One of the most powerful skills you can create for yourself is the ability to live in your dreams and create the future that you see. 1 year ago, I published my 2026 Vivid Vision, a document that very clearly articulates and paints the vision of my future. And what I wanted to do was give an update on what I learned 1 year into the 3-year journey so that it can help you on your journey of creating whatever it is that you would love in your life. What's good? I'm Rob Cressy, and I felt it was very important to share this perspective on my Vivid Vision journey because this has been an absolute game changer for me. The ability for each of us to create clarity of vision and consistency and intention around it allows us to live into who we are in the future right now. And I want to share sort of some of the perspectives or things that I've done, the habits, the routines, the ways that I've leveraged my Vivid Vision, and you can too. And for context, if this is something that you're interested in creating your own Vivid Vision, you can go to robcressy.com. You can both see the one that I've created, the process that I've created, and if you're looking to someone to be a champion for you on that journey, I can even guide you on that. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to share my screen and show the Vivid Vision. And what it is it's a snapshot of the most important areas of our life. And we look 3 years out into the future and for this. And for me, I've got a wife and a 2.5-year-old son. I'm also an entrepreneur and a coach and a creator. And I believe in holistic success, meaning filling up all of the buckets of our life. So everything that you see or hear is going to be representative of that. So my first tip for you in thinking about clarity of vision and creating your own Vivid Vision is to think about first, what is most important for you? So I start my Vivid Vision with a snapshot, and then I talk about my wife. Why? Because she's the most important person in my life. And I sat there and I was like, all right, what does the next 3 years of this relationship look like? Who can I be? How can I show up every single day to be that person who is the best? And one of the things that I really enjoyed and loved about creating my Vivid Vision is the imagery of it, the ability to use pictures to create the emotion and the feelings in me. Next thing I have is my son. And with this, man, I get so much joy on this because seeing him lights me up. And one of the things that I really do and I know is that I am a mirror for my son. So if I am someone who every single day is reading and speaking and feeling into my Vivid Vision, then I'm also a representation of that for him. So it's a great reminder there. Then I'm jumping into my well-being here because it is very important to me to be someone who looks good, feels good, is confident, because that's part of a lifestyle. That's why I always say this is a mindset, a lifestyle, and a way of being. And I would encourage you to even notice the specific language that I'm using in painting my Vivid Vision because it is very intentional. Because one of the things that you learn in doing this experience is the power of language. Because if you're going to be reading something 1,000+ times, man, you want to be very intentional about what those words are in the document. So even looking at this page right here with my well-being, it says, every day I wake up as the best version of myself, loving where I am in this moment in life. I'm the happiest person on earth, shining my light on everyone. Man, just reading that out loud brings so much joy and positive energy inside of myself. So my encouragement for you, what would be that sentence? Those 2 sentences that you read and it lights you up. This is what painting the future for yourself looks like. Up next, I've got exploration and play. And even the way that I phrased exploration and play is by design because I wanted something that spoke to the way that I think about creating my life. I'm someone that believes in newness and going on adventures, and that life can be played like a game. So instead of just putting this under a very generic bucket of like recreational activities, it's like, no, man, the exploration and play area of my life. And even just setting that intention of being someone that explores and plays, man, so many good things. And one of the things that gets created in me every time I read this page is it says, if it's humanly possible, I know I can do it. And this is a picture from when I was down at the one hotel in Miami, down at the gym they have there. And I was like, man, this constant reminder, drip, drip, drip. And that's one of the powerful things about creating a vivid vision is the power of awareness, the power of intention, and then the power of consistency. So how in the world do I leverage these things on a daily basis? Well, if something is important enough, you will always find time to make it happen, aka reading your vivid vision. Well, for me, when is there always time? Well, I put this first thing in the morning. So for the last year, every single day, the first thing that I've done in the morning when I wake up is I read my vivid vision right before I do my 30 minutes of reading on the Kindle. And the reason for this is because I am all in on this concept that what does it really take to be someone to bring your dreams to life, to be someone who does things that nobody else in the world does. And we're not doing this because we're trying to be different, but these dreams and goals and these visions that you have in your mind, these possibilities, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. If you're about that life and you say, okay, I believe that much, but now let me get into the process of things. How in the world do I bring this to life? Very simply, when I looked at myself, I was like, one word, commitment. I am committing to creating myself as the person who is living my vivid vision right this second. So therefore, if the very first thing that I do every single day when I wake up in the morning is I read my vivid vision, what do you think that is going to create in me? Who am I going to be? What is the story that I am going to tell myself every single day? Well, if nothing else, I'm living the vision of what's possible, where I'm going, and what I'm creating myself into. Because this is where, once again, drip, 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 drip. So often I talk about and coach around effortless effort. What are those things that you can do or create in your life, those habits and those routines and those mindsets that become so easy that it actually almost doesn't even feel like you're doing anything? And this is how I feel with year one of creating this vivid vision, because it's a part of who I am every single day. Do you feel this emotional connection? Because this, to me, is the levels of this game. We can all create vision, but I can go ahead and give you this document. And if this is something you want to see the full thing for yourself, go to robcressy.com/vision. So up here, after this, we have entrepreneurial harmony. And man, this just lights me up so much. And this isn't just about my business. This is about all areas of me as an entrepreneur and the harmony that weaves and flows through this. And even the image that I created here, it's something that was all around the creation of my dreams. Each image is a specific representation of every single thing that I see in the future. And even my very first language, every day I'm living and creating my dream. If you take nothing else from this, imagine this. Once a day for the next 3 years, you just speak to yourself, every day I'm living and creating my dream. What impact do you think that will have on you? In my perspective, you know what impact it does? On the days in which I don't feel like I'm 100%, I read that and it's a reminder that's like, hey, yo dog, you're living your dream today. You have the ability to create it. This is you and this is your power. On other days when, man, I'm vibing and I'm flowing, I read that every day. I'm living and creating my dream. I'm like, yeah, I am. Let's go, baby. Boom. Do you see how you can bring this emotion to life in your vivid vision? Up next, I didn't want to just put money. For me, abundance and prosperity, because this fills all of the buckets of that. And the very first thing, I'm rich in all areas of my life. Man, once again, this embodied state of being, because one of the biggest things that I learned in just creating my vivid vision was the ability to see that I am this and have this now. not that this is a future state. And I think this is the mastery level concept of all of this here. That if you see that you have the ability to create this vision for yourself, then who do we get to be the people that create this in our life? Well, why wait until the future? Why not be that person right now? And one of the things that I was very intentional about was rereading the great book by Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, Be Your Future Self Now. So when I'm living in vision, consistency every single day, I was like, you know what? There's levels to this. I want to keep living in this world. So I reminded myself, be your future self now, be your future self now, because this is how we create those quantum leaps in our life. And of course, once again, imagery on this, dreams really do come true. So often on the journey of creating what you want in your life, it's going to be a series of obstacles, adversity, and challenges. Some you see, some you don't see, some you create for yourself, some that come out of nowhere. And having that little reminder, drip, 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 dreams really do come true. And then, of course, I've got this quote from Biggie that I saw when I was in Brooklyn, spread love, it's a Brooklyn way. Man, just gets me shining, vibing, sharing things like this right now. And then the last thing right here, how I feel. Just think about this. Imagine designing what you feel like for the next 3 years. The best version of yourself, the way that you wake up every single day, the things that you're doing every day. How are you feeling during this? Like, wow, this feels like a lot. Well, guess what? If you want to be the best in the world and create things that nobody else does that you dream of, there is going to be a good amount of intention and things that we're going to do to make this thing happen. Because none of this is hard. It's all love. It's flowing with everything that you want. So often, we actually have to stop ourselves from stopping ourselves. And that's the beauty of this Vivid Vision document. It is clear as day who I am, where I'm going, what I've created, what my relationships, my health, my confidence, how I feel, my business, everything. All of that is laid out right there. Because with that, now we can go ahead and create it. So a few little nuggets that I'm going to share that I picked up along the way. So as I mentioned, I read it first thing in the morning. It takes me about 8 minutes to read my Vivid Vision. And then I would say that about 50% of the time before I go to bed at night, I will read at least one of the other pages in that. Why? Because I do believe in the ability of the last things that you read or consume before you go to bed, your mind is going to work on it. So I'm like, well, crap, if I'm all in on this Vivid Vision, why not take an extra minute and 30 seconds and reread this thing again? And I very much believe in this power of consistency because I've seen it manifest in so many different areas of my life. And my encouragement for you in all of this, as you're listening or watching to this right now, is to ask yourself, how clear are you on your dreams and your goals, where you're going to be and what you're going to create and how you're going to feel 3 years from now? Because guess what? 1 year ago, I was not the person who had this Vivid Vision. I've always been a big dreamer, forward thinker, create everything I want in my life. But guess what? There's levels to the game and there's more power accessible for me. And so often I would hear about long-term goal setting and I was like, okay, I know that to be true. I believe it to be true, but I'm not living it. I wanted to be one of those people. And creating a Vivid Vision is the thing that unlocked it for me, not only just for these 3 years, but this is going to be something that's a tool in my tool belt for the rest of my life. And with this, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can share. Oh, here's a really good one that I love. And this is all around the power of micro, ones over zeros. So I believe, don't quote me on this, the number was 3 years is 1,078 days, something close to that. So how in the world do you stay connected to your Vivid Vision when you're 3 years away or 2 years away? Well, for me, simple countdown. What I would do on my 10X planner every single day, and today there's 727 days remaining in my Vivid Vision, is write down how many days are left. because here's the thing that happens. 1078 eventually becomes 999, becomes 900, becomes 800, becomes, holy smokes, this has been 1 year. And once you hit that 1 year mark, you sit there and you audit yourself and you're like, all right, what are the things that I've created in my life? What are the things that maybe I haven't put as much intention or action towards? Boom, the ability to resharpen your focus and get things dialed back in. So for me, I will have a 1 day countdown every single day for 3 years to remind me in the power of presence in this day. And then the last part about this is actually living things from your vivid vision. And this is just the gift of all gifts for yourself. And here's a simple one. When I talk about my son and my vivid vision, some of the things that we talk about is teaching him how to swim and going to the beach. And we live in Sarasota, Florida. So every single time we go down to Siesta Key Beach, I sit there and I'll be in the ocean and I'll just be sitting there smiling. And I'll say to myself, I'm living my vivid vision right now. So now we are claiming the things actually happening. So not only is this a projection into the future, and yes, we can live into being this person, but you will now start being the person who does so many of those things in your vivid vision. So you can highlight it or check it off. But a very simple awareness practice, man, I am living my vivid vision right now. That creates such a power and zeal inside of myself, knowing that I am that dude. I'm the one who makes these things come to life. And this enthusiasm is contagious. So now every single bucket you go and do something like, boom, creating that for my vivid vision. Now you've got that greater connection to who you are and what you're doing. So felt it was important for me to share this 1 year in because this is going to be a 3-year journey. I will do another one of these 2 years in, and then I will do another one when I've completed my 2026 vivid vision, and I will share the photos, the videos, the experiences, all the things that have come to life. And once again, if you're someone who's interested in painting a very vivid vision of your future for yourself, I encourage you, hit me up. rob@robcressy.com is my email, or go to robcressy.com/vivid. And I've got, here we go right there. Put that on the screen. Would love to be a positive asset for you on this journey. It is something that will absolutely change your life because it did mine. Sending tons of good vibes your way. Hope you have yourself an amazing rest of the day.